Conspiracies always start with an element of truth. Some truth that hasn't been addressed, acknowledged, or rectified. And people who author conspiracies start with that truth. They start adding the fiction in the form of like breadcrumbs.
For Lenka Perron startet veien inn I konspirasjonen gjennom et ektefølt sosialt engasjement.
When I first graduated from college and got my career started in insurance, I could walk through a facility and a warehouse worker could put a roof over his head and he could raise a family and he had health care. He had all these things. Today, that warehouse worker maybe gets $9 an hour with hardly any benefits, right? And they've got to go on food stamps or what have you. And then Bernie Sanders came along.
I'm talking about Wall Street, the health insurance companies, the drug companies.
Bernie Sanders var den radikale utfordreren til Hillary Clinton under demokratenes primærvalgkamp I 2016. Hans budskap fikk gjennomslag I den forlatte bilbyen Detroit. I storhetsdagene på 50-tallet var Detroit USAs fjerde største by, med nesten 2 millioner innbyggere. Nå bor det I overkant av 600 000 her. Bilindustrien har flyttet. Vinden farer gjennom tomme fabrikker. Boligene I forfall, noen brent ned. Ingen bryr seg med å rydde opp. Byen nå den nest fattigste I USA. Hit skulle Bernie komme og ordne opp.
Emails are starting to come out. This is something that I've asked to be done, as you know.
Derfor var skuffelsen så stor da e-postene til Hillary Clinton ble lekket. Bernie Sanders sine tilhengere følte seg forrådt.
We thought they'd be discussing how do we get Americans health care? How do we clean the environment? How do we address the low wages? We found zero evidence of that level of conversation going on in those emails. What we found instead was just a daily influx of how the 1% lives. Expensive dinner events, a lot of collaboration with the media to push Hillary Clinton and keep Bernie's message out of there. It was overwhelmingly shocking and disappointing to us.
And so over here,
Neil Johnson professor I fysikk. Han forsker på hvordan og hvor raskt konspirasjonsteorier spres I sosiale medier.
what they've managed to do in the last couple of years is draw towards them communities online that may be pet lovers, parents interested in schooling for their kids, any type of other interest. They've managed to pull them in with this kind of distrust of government guidance.
Lenka fant raskt meningsfeller på sosiale medier. Hver dag begynte ny informasjon å dukke opp I Facebook-gruppene hennes.
There was an influx of new members in these Facebook groups. So there were a lot of Trump supporters coming into these sites. It was a perfect playground for them. It started to feel more cult-like.
The media is trying to create the narrative.
And then in comes Q.
So things that were in the dark, the light is shining and it's bringing it out, and people really need to know to come together, and it's always been about the children. Trump 2020.
Q en anonym aktør på sosiale medier, som selv hevder å vite hva som skjer I maktens indre korridorer.
And what Q would do was, in a very poetic sort of way, put mysteries and clues out there that had Q followers trying to connect all the different pieces ourselves.
Qs hovedbudskap at verden styres av en hemmelig gruppe pedofile, satandyrkende maktpersoner, og at politikere som Barack Obama og Hillary Clinton med I denne eliten. For Lenka ga den kriblende følelse av lykke og makt å bli innvidd I Qs budskap. Hun ble en av de mange millioner følgere, en Q Anonymous, I kortform Qanon.
it felt very much like an addiction. Where social media might be getting addicted to, let's say, marijuana, conspiracies are like the heroin of social media.
I think people view information in the same way that people used to view religion.
Darrell West fra Brookings-instituttet drar en klar sammenligning mellom religion og kultbevegelser som QAnon.
That information helps them cope with uncertainty. It's a way to organize the world. It gives them an explanation of why things are happening the way they are in exactly the same way that religion used to do that.
Do you think these conspiracies can spread more easily among religious people?
I think so, because religious people already have the idea that belief in something is almost better than facts about something. If my beliefs require no facts, then I'm a perfect target for something like QAnon.
For Lenka ble det lange dager foran datamaskin og mobil. Barn og ektemann ble neglisjert. Men etter hvert slapp euforien taket. Så kom nedturen.
I was losing sleep. I was getting stressed. My blood pressure was going up. I became a lot more angry when I'm not normally that kind of person.
Vendepunktet kom da hun ikke lenger aksepterte Qs profeti om Donald Trump som redningsmannen.
When I started questioning the narrative, how can Donald Trump possibly be the person to solve all this? I felt a lot of guilt and a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment.
USA! USA!
6. januar kom stormen på Kongressen. Men det ble ikke som Q hadde spådd. Trump måtte gå av som president. QAnon-bevegelsen spres likevel videre, også til andre land. Nå blander den seg med vaksinemotstandernes konspirasjonsteorier.
Dat hoor je in die nieuwskanalen.
And we see in the communities that ideas around QAnon are revolving very, very quickly. And so, yes, Europe is a prime hotspot in future years for a QAnon type of movement.
Lenka har kommet seg ut av konspirasjonskulten, men hun advarer om at hvem som helst kan bli dratt inn i slike bevegelser.
Q may go by the wayside because now we've got the COVID conspiracies. These anti-vaxxers who were once liberal, they meditated, they ate organic foods, a lot of them were vegans, went for Trump.